Hey, welcome everybody. I'd like to call this regular meeting of council to order on August 23rd, 2022 at 7 p.m. We'll stay seated for a moment of silent reflection. Thank you. So we'll move on to the mayor's address. During the month of July 9th, I attended 11 meetings for municipal and county business. On Saturday, July 9th, 2022, I attended the Golden Lake Property Owners Association AGM. On Wednesday, July 13th, 2022, I attended a luncheon with the ambassador of Ukraine to present her with a check for $80,000. Special thanks to Gerald Tracy and his team of volunteers for planning and organizing this successful community fundraising event. On Thursday, August 4th, 2022, I attended the kickoff of the Water and Dirt Festival at the Pembroke Waterfront. Thanks to Colin Coyle for organizing and executing this event that brought together 3 municipalities as well as the city of Pembroke, that was Petawawa, Laurentian Valley, and Northern Wilberforce. The kayak fishing tournament at Melissa Bishop Park had 42 participants, and the feedback was positive about the location and the fishing success. On Saturday, August 14th, 2022, I attended the doggy paddle at Melissa Bishop Park and participated in the celebrity relay. The doggy paddle had 44 registered participants, and there were 5 celebrity relay teams. Thanks to Cameron Montgomery, Jennifer Ross, Dorian Pierce, and the Recreation Committee members for assisting with these events. On August 14th to the 17th, 2022, I attended the AMO conference in Ottawa with Councillor Robinson. There were approximately 2,000 participants from across the province. My summary report is attached. On behalf of council and myself, I want to thank all staff for their efforts in completing a number of projects and continuing to work on those that remain. It has been a very busy summer for staff working through the budgeted items, in addition to planning for the October election. Finally, I want to acknowledge the excellent support and contributions we received from our summer students. I would like to thank them and wish them well on their future endeavors. That is my mayor's address. Can I get a mover and a seconder that the August 23rd, 2022 mayor's address be accepted and presented? Moved by Councillor Berg, seconded by Councillor Redfish. Councillor Berg? Yes. Councillor Buckwell?
Yes.
Councillor Robinson?
Yes.
Councillor Redfish?
Yeah.
Yes, it's carried. Thank you. Are there any declarations of pecuniary interest in the general nature thereof? Seeing none, then we will move on to the adoption of the minutes. I have a motion that the July 5th, 2022 Committee of Adjustment, the July 5th, 2022 regular meeting, the July 12th, 2022 special meeting, and the August 3rd, 2022 special meeting minutes be accepted as presented. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councillor Buckwell, seconded by Councillor Burns. Any additions, corrections, or omissions? Councillor Buckwell.
Have we agreed on Golden Lake Community Complex? I know they had a long stuff out. I don't recall if we agreed on it.
I think we did.
Okay.
Decided on that this meeting hall. Any other comments, questions? Seeing none, Councillor Burns. Yes. Councillor Buckwell.
Yes.
Councillor Robinson.
Yes.
Councillor Redfish.
Yes.
Yes. Harry, thank you. We have no delegations tonight, so we'll move into reports. Item 7.1 is the public works update. I have a motion that council accepts the public works update report as information. And I'm gonna move in a second, moved by Councilor Buckwell, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Questions or comments? Seeing none, Councilor Burns.
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
yes,
Councilor Reddy Johnfeld,
Yes.
and yes, Harry, thank you. Item 7.2 is a tandem axle plow standard truck update. I have a motion that council accepts this report as information and authorizes the additional expenditure of $7,500 for the purchase of the 2022 tandem axle plow standard truck from Abby Schmitz, Canada Incorporated. And I'm going to move in a second, moved by Councilor Bird, seconded by Councilor Buckwell. Comments or questions? Seeing none, Councilor Burnt. Yes. Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
yes,
Ricky Schoenfeld,
Yes.
and a yes, Gary, thank you. Item 7.3 is the treasurer's update. I have a motion that council accepts the treasurer's update report as information. And I got to move in a second, moved by Councilor Buckwell, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Comments, questions, Councilor Buckwell?
Just some, I'm just looking at the first page of the provisional budget report. Up to August, and it's only showing $9,000 in residential and farm tax revenue.
Yeah, that doesn't include the final billings.
So, but even that shouldn't even the interim billing has been much more than that, because $9,000 is only like a handful of properties.
Yes, but the way our taxation software shows, it shows the final bill of the interim, so
That's weird.
it is a little different, yes, but
Okay.
Any other comments, questions? Councilor Burton?
we do, yes. Yes, we do.
I must say the budget so far looks good, and hopefully we'll be fine getting through to the end of the year. The only thing I noticed was that heating fuel was over budget, but that's not unexpected.
The other one might be a diesel and gas.
Oh yeah, that could be,
They're gonna freeze in half and pass the budget.
Any other comments? Seeing none, Councilor Burks,
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
yes,
Councilor Reggie Coonfeld,
Yes.
and a yes, Gary, thank you.
The furnish for the fire department. For service, like for the chief of fire, it's $1,000 for the budget and then.
So moving on to item 7.4 is the chief building official update. I have a motion of council accepts the chief building official update report as presented. Could I get a move in a second? Moved by Councilor Bird, seconded by Councilor Buckwell. Comments or questions? Seeing none, Councilor Burks,
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
yes,
Councilor Reggie Schoenfeld,
Yeah.
Yes, it's carried. Thank you. Item 7.5 is the bylaw enforcement update. We have a motion that council accepts the bylaw enforcement update report as presented. And I got a mover and seconder. Moved by Councilor Buckwald, seconded by Councilor Robinson. Comments or questions? Seeing none, Councilor Burt,
Yes.
Councilor Buckwald,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
yes,
Councilor Buckwald,
Yeah.
and yes, carried. Thank you. Item 7.6 is the COVID-19 update, which was provided by staff. I have a motion that council accepts the COVID-19 update report as information and implements the recommendations contained in the report. That one I'd like to bring it up, please. Can I get a mover and seconder? Moved by Councilor Buckwald, seconded by Councilor Burks. So I guess one of the challenges we'll have is that we can only accommodate, is it 4 people who may want to attend in person based on current distancing and separation?
It is a limited number, yes. So you probably are looking at 6 people or so.
And the other item is the plexiglass cubicles.
Yeah.
The code of files can go away.
I know what they did at county is anybody who wanted the glass removed entirely could have that. Some just wanted the front panel removed, so they still have protection on the sides. I think we could probably look at something similar here.
So the report recommends that the alternating barriers be removed. So rather than having 5, have 2 or 3 barriers. I think that is council's direction.
Okay, we can hold them if the other member of the company that the.
I still would rather have them in here, but I do have a hard time looking through the plastic glass. I mean, I just kind of destroyed things, and the thing is, if Doug's was removed, that's good for Doug, but I'm still looking through plastic glass. If Doug didn't remove the line, then it's me, I'm still looking through plastic. Maybe it's like how somebody feels comfortable. I'm gonna say getting rid of plastic glass, because COVID could really, okay, but I mean, the problem is. You're healthy and things are going okay. I mean, the other thing too is we could physically distance a little more too, right?
Councilor Buckwald.
And the thing is too, again, we're still all doing our self-assessment before we come in. I would hope that we all have a common sense that if we're not feeling well, we're not sure that we would even distance ourselves or attend virtually.
That's right.
No, I would for sure, if I was a business, I would, you could move them, just.
So you'd be comfortable removing them,
I
Councilor?
would do this.
Councilor Robinson?
Staff, I would say, too, I'm okay with having my meeting.
Councilor Robinson?
I would be okay with removing what sort of followed the guidelines of the county.
Okay.
We have to sort of keep them in the background, because in case they come back.
Oh, I agree. We don't want to get rid of
We
them.
don't want to just remove them off the desk for now, but if they does come back, they're not in the same boat.
So staff is okay with the direction?
So council would like to amend that recommendation to remove the barriers from their desk.
Yes.
But if staff wanted to keep their barriers, they would keep their barriers.
Right.
If we had one here for the press, and we want.
It's been a good number of people there this month.
So I just made it on here again to remove the council barriers. Okay. I'll call the vote then. Council Burks.
Yes.
Council Buckwell.
Yes.
Council Robinson.
Yes,
Council Becky Funkle.
Yes.
Yes, that's carried. Thank you. Item 7.6.1 is the Snow Drifters Club request. I have a motion that council considers the Eagleville Snow Drifters Snowmobile Club's request for permission to make improvements to the unopened roll downs used for their snowmobile trail. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councilor Byrne, seconded by Councilor Buckwell. Comments or questions? Councilor Buckwell?
Just, the wording of the recommendation, the council considers it not the council approves it. I just wanted to staff have some background they wanted to share on the subject.
Michelle?
Okay, so the representative from the Eagle Snow Drifters Club had requested permission from the township to make improvements. And what they had requested was to perform a general cleanup to the trail. They also may also want to install a few culverts, and this could require culverts. The installation of culverts may require permits. Possibly $1,000 for the Department of Fisheries and Oceans. So if council was considering this, that is one thing that should be included. Would be recommendation to staff that if the permits are required, that or culverts are installed, permits would be required. They would need to obtain permits if required.
Councilor Reddish-Uncle.
And the cost of the culverts would be covered by them and not us.
Yes.
Any other comments or questions? Councilor Byrne?
And it did start on that Charles Lewis and Full Truth Road trail. That already worked on that last week. It's already, this part already done.
And I know this other trail that they want to do work on certainly is one they've been using for
Oh, yeah.
30 years. So it's not a new it's a new request to make improvements, but it's not a new request for a trail. So we're okay with the wording then?
So based on council's, we could do a friendly amendment to change considered to approve. With the condition that if culverts are required, the club would be required to obtain permits if necessary.
Oh, can I just change from consider to approve on here and or do we have to write up a new resolution? Are you gonna put it up on the screen? Laura? Okay.
Just update it. So friendly amendment.
Council approves the Eagleville Snow Drifters Snowmobiles Club request for permission to make improvements to the unopened road allowance used for the snowmobile trail. If culverts are required, the club will be responsible to obtain permits if necessary. Are the mover and seconder, Council Byrne and Council Buckle, okay with the resolution? Okay. So I'll call the vote, then Council Byrne. Yes. Council Buckle.
Yes.
Council Robinson.
yes,
Council Reddish-Uncle.
Yeah.
I mean, yes. That's carried. Item 7.7 is Island View Drive Beach Report. I have a motion that council accepts the Island View Drive Beach Report as information. And I'm going to move in second. Moved by Councilor Robinson, seconded by Councilor Buckwell. Comments or questions? Councilor Buckwell?
Just one for staff. Is there a standard sign or type of sign that we use for that? Or is it just stuff that we got in ours?
So the Renfrew County District Health Unit, they provided the signage to other people.
Perfect, thank you.
And according to the report, they did the follow-up testing, and I think it was the first week of August when we got the go-ahead to take the sign out.
That's correct, yes.
And there was a question from one of the residents, but my understanding is people can still use the beach at their own risk, even if it's posted.
Correct.
Any other comments? Seeing none, Councilor Burns,
Yes.
Councilor Buckle,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Councilor Reddy-Fonfeld,
Yeah.
and a yes, it's very clear. Item 7.8 is the zoning amendment application from Brenda Sharpino. I have a motion that council accepts this report as presented, and further directs staff to process the zoning amendment application. And I got to move it in second. Moved by Councilor Berg, seconded by Councilor Buckwell. Comments or questions? Seeing none, Councilor Berg,
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Councilor Reddy-Fonfeld,
Yeah.
and yeah, that's carried. Thank you. And that brings us to correspondence. I have a motion that council accept correspondence items 9.1.1 to 9.1.4 as information. And I'm going to move in a seconder. Moved by Councilor Reddy-Fonfeld, seconded by Councilor Buckwell. Councilor Burks,
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Councilor Reddy-Fonfeld,
Yes.
and a yes. Carried, thank you. Item 9.2.1 is the Ontario sheep farmers. I have a motion that staff review the request from the Ontario Sheep Farmers of Ontario and bring a report back to council. Can I get a move to second? Moved by Councilor Reddy-Fonfeld, seconded by Councilor Buckwell. Comments or questions? Seeing none. Councilor Burns,
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell,
Yes.
Councilor Robinson,
Yes.
Councilor Reddy-Fonfeld.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, carried, thank you. Item 9.2.2 from the South Bruce Peninsula. Whereas the Township of North Algona Wilberforce received correspondence from the town of South Beach Peninsula, and that the council of the Township of North Algona Wilberforce support the motion from the town of South Beach Peninsula, requesting that the province acknowledge the shortage in all healthcare working disciplines, and that they take steps to increase the number of practicing physicians in the province of Ontario. And I got a mover and a seconder, moved by Councilor Burke, seconded by Councilor Buckwell. Comments and questions? I just wanted to add that this was quite a topic of discussion at the AMO conference. They are certainly planning to increase the number of doctors from other countries that would be allowed to practice in Ontario. I think improve or shorten the certification process to get them certified to practice to Ontario standards. And they're building another college, and I can't remember if it was for physicians or for nurses. I think it was for physicians. Maybe Councilor Robinson remembers if she has anything to add.
No, I don't,
Okay,
but I know there were the college. I now that you've said it, I can't remember if it's for the nurses or for the doctors, but I think it was the nurses.
okay. Anyway, they certainly are investing some money in trying to get more doctors and nurses and GSWs into the system. I'll call the vote. Thank you, Councilor Burke.
Yeah.
Councilor Buckwell.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
Yes,
Councilor Reddy Tonto.
Yes,
I mean, yes, that's carried. Thank you. So that brings us to bylaws, or no bylaws. Are there any matters of urgency? Any notice of motion? Upcoming meetings and unfinished business, and then next regular meeting of council will be September 6th, 2022. I won't be able to attend that meeting because I have a scheduled day surgery in Ottawa, so Councilor Robinson will be chairing that meeting. And that brings us to our closed session. So I have a motion that council go into close pursuant to section 239, 2A, 2B, 2D, and 2I of Municipal Act. 1 for security of municipal property, 2 for personal matters about an identifiable individual, 2 for labor relations or employee negotiations, and 1 information supplied in confidence by a third party. We have a mover and seconder, moved by Councilor Burns, seconded by Councilor Reddy-Tonto. And we'll be going in at 7:28 p.m. Councilor Burns.
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
yes,
Councilor Reddy-Tonto.
yes.
I mean, yeah, that's carried. Thank you. (16.1) I have a motion that council direct staff to proceed as directed in closed session regarding the communications committee. Moved by Councilor Burns, seconded by Councilor Buckwell. Councilor Burns.
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
yes.
Councilor Reddy-Tonto.
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Very, thank you. Item 16.2 is the RBC. I have a motion that council direct staff to proceed as directed in the closed session. And moved by Councilor Buckwell, seconded by Councilor Reddy-Tonto. Councilor Burns.
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
Yes,
Councilor Reddy-Tonto.
Yes.
And yes, very good. And that brings us to our confirmatory bylaw. And a motion that bylaw 2022-46 being a bylaw to confirm the proceedings of council for August 23rd, 2022. Be read a first and second time this 23rd day of August 2022. Can we get a mover and a seconder? Moved by Councilor Reddy-Tonto, seconded by Councilor Burke. Be read a third time and finally passed this 23rd day of August 2022. Councilor Burke.
Yes.
Councilor Buckwell.
Yes.
Councilor Robinson.
yes,
Councilor Reddy-Tonto.
Yes.
And a yes, carried. And finally, I have a motion that the August 23rd, 2022 regular meeting of council carries at 8:17 p.m. Moved by Councillor Burke, seconded by Councillor Robinson. Councillor Burke,
Yes.
Councillor Buchwald,
Yes.
Councillor Robinson,
Yes.
Councillor Reggie Bolto,
Yes.
and a yes. There, we are adjourned. Thank you very much.